welcome once again in class of basic civil engineering. So far now we have seen the two units. That is, first unit is of introduction, in which we have studied the role of civil engineer, the branches of civil engineer, and what is civil engineering. And in second unit we have seen the building planning principles, etc. So now we are beginning with the third chapter, which is of surveying. In this chapter, we are going to see the principles of survey, then elements of distance and angular measurement, plotting of area, baseline and offsets, introduction to plane table surveying, introduction to leveling, concept of benchmark, reduce level, and contours. So all these things we will see one by one. So what is surveying? Surveying is an art of and science of determining the relative position of various points or stations on the surface of the earth by measuring horizontal and vertical distances, angles, and taking the details of these points, and by preparing a map or plan to any suitable scale. So this is basically the surveying, which is the determine the position of various points by measuring horizontal vertical distances and angles and taking details of that point, and according to that we have to prepare the map or plan with the suitable scale. Actually, this thing has been there since too much beginning, because in our history we can see so many maps has been prepared for ancient Indias, and even in those maps the position of rivers has been shown, and some territory also has been plotted in that particular map. So this is surveying is there since uh, from too much large time, or in so much earlier parts in mankind's history. Now, what are the objectives of surveying? The objectives of surveying is to prepare a map or a plan to show the relative position of the objects on the surface of the earth. The map or plan is drawn to suitable scale. It is also show the boundaries of districts, states, and countries too. It also includes details of different engineering features such as building, road, railways, dams, canals, etc. So this is the objective of surveying. In India, as I told you earlier, in ancient India also people used to prepare a plans and show the positions of all things, like boundaries of the states or the uh, districts rather, or the tehsils, or the even the boundaries has been decided with the help of rivers also. So all these things has been they are showing in the particular maps. Basically, the modern surveying, it has been started with the British kingdom, or with the British rule in India. So basically, it has been there because I have read one incident, because of the um, there is no entry in China for the British. They use the local people, that is from the this northeast region. They have the resemblance with these Chinese people, so they use the local person, which name of that person is Nain Singh Rawat. So that is the amongst first surveyor of the India. He went into the region, and he has prepared the maps. Even while measuring the height of the Mount Everest, which is one of the highest mountain in uh, one of them is, it is the highest mountain in the world. So the people don't know the exact height. So that has been calculated by the person called Ramana Sigdar, uh, and it has been named uh, by the name of George Everest, who is the main surveyor of the India at that time. So likewise, the survey has begun in our or the modern surveying has begun in our country by the English people. So basically, this is the things we used to prepare with the help of survey. Here you can see this is a kind of master plan of particular area in which office building is there and residential buildings are there, and the roads has been shown in this particular region, and even some garden part is there, and it is connected with the road on this part. So all these things has been shown with the help of surveying or the help of preparing the plan. Again, this is another part or another map which has been prepared, and this is the rather bigger scale map, that is Gurgaon and Manesar. So here you can see different regions, that is SEZ and zones, even the free areas, that is forested areas, even roads you can see, even rail lines you can see. So all these things or this kind of map has been prepared with the help of surveying only. Now the uses of surveying. The surveying may be used for following purposes. 1. To prepare a topographical map which shows hills, valleys, rivers, forests, villages, towns, etc. Second, to prepare a cadastral map which shows the boundaries of the fields, plots, house, and other properties. That is, cadastral means mahsuli, rather आपल्या in case of this Marathi it is called as a mahsuli map. To for the tax collection and all those things, these things are required. So to third thing is to prepare engineering map which shows the position of engineering work such as building, roads, railways, dams, and canals. So here you can see the topographical map. Here you can see this is the hill like structure, these are the valleys. So basically these are the contour maps, and by using these lines, these are the contour lines. The contour lines means the line which is made by the connecting the plot points of the same height. So by looking this thing we can show the this here you can see the creek, here hill is there. So these are the topographical map which shows the topographical feature. Here also we have the topographical map. This is the spillway, and these are the benchmarks, etc. We are going to see the, if this is the lake, we are going to see this benchmark and tail thing in coming lectures. This is the cadastral map. This shows the plot areas or the boundaries of particular thing, and which helps to collect the taxes for the government. Here you can see the fields and all different plots and areas you can see over here. And these are the engineering maps which shows the roads and the bridges and all other things. There is, these are called as a engineering map. This kind of map you can see with the help of this GPS system. GPS means uh, the things which are present to show the roads, etc. in maps, Google Maps, etc. And next, the again the uses of surveying. To prepare a contour map, to know the topography of the area, to find out the best possible site of for roads, railways, bridges, reservoirs, canals, etc. Surveying also used to prepare a military map, geological map, archaeological maps, etc. for setting out work and transferring the details from map to the ground. So one thing is we are preparing the map from the ground data, and second thing is we are setting out the work and transferring the detail from the map to the ground. That is also part of survey. So basically these are the contour maps. Here you can see in the 3D and in the contour map, these are the contour lines. So here you can see we are having this two hills, and in 3D you can see the hills, and these are the contour lines. Here also you can see the contour lines, the lines which are connecting the uh, points at the same elevation or same height. These are the military maps which shows the this artillery, air bases, etc. So these are the basically military maps, and these are the geological maps which shows the reef, anticline, and all these the geological feature. And this is the setting out work, that is we are here the setting out the building. So what is the setting out the building? We have to fix the uh, position of the column, because while starting any work or any building work, we need to start with the foundation, and for the foundation the excavation is needed, and to finalize the where to excavate, this thing has been done, that column position has to set up at the place of or at the on the site. So this is called as a setting out work. Now the type of survey. The shape of the earth is spherical, thus the surface is obviously curved. The surveying is primarily divided into two types considering the curvature of the earth, that is plane surveying and geodetic surveying. So basically earth is having the spherical shape. Basically it is not exact spherical, it has some uh, what we can say, somewhat minimum radius at some point and maximum radius at somewhere. In exact words, it has the equatorial radius of 6378 kilometer, but the polar radius is 6357 kilometer. So in other words, the earth is slightly flattened. And again, Earth's circumference is the distance around the Earth, which is when measured around the pole, the circumference is 39,940.65 kilometers, and around the equator, it is 40,075.01 kilometer around the equator. So it has some more radius or more circumference along the equator. So, in plane surveying is that type of surveying in which the Earth's surface is considered as a plane and the curvature of Earth is ignored. And in such surveying, a line joining any station is considered to be straight. The triangle formed by any 3 point is considered as a plane triangle, and the angles of the triangle are considered as a plane angle. So basically, in the plane surveying, we are not considering the curvature or the curvature effect of the Earth. So that's why all the lines are the considered as a plane, and even the triangles or the shapes are formed by this kind of surveying as considered as a those are the plane thing, plane triangle or plane angles. Then the surveying is carried out for a small area less than 250 kilometer square. Remember this thing. Surveying is carried out for a small area of less than 250 kilometer square. It is carried out by local or state agencies like R&B department, irrigation department or railway department. So this is the example of the plane surveying in which the these lines are there which are considered as a straight lines. Here you can see the line, the bearing, that is on what direction the line should lie, that is with reference to southeast or northeast. So and the distance of that particular line, so in which nowhere the curvature has been taken into the consideration. So here you can see a few more things have been shown over here. This is a kind of survey map. Here north the scale has been shown over here. This is the floodplain survey of the Rick Johnson, that is Logan County, Ohio. This is from actually US. So this is for the example. So this is a kind of plane survey. Then geodetic survey. So the geodetic surveying is that type of surveying in which the curvature of the earth is taken into account. It is generally extended over larger areas. The line joining any two stations is considered as a curved line. The triangle formed by any 3 point is considered to be spherical, and the angles of the triangle are considered to be spherical angles. So in plane survey, we are considering these are the plane triangle and the plane angles. Then the geodetic surveying, it is conducted by the Survey of India department and is carried out for a larger area exceeding 250 kilometer square. So the area is above 250 kilometer square, the curvature of earth is taken into consideration. So these things have to be remembered. For the geodetic survey we need to consider the earth's curvature, and in case of plane surveying there will not be, we are not considering the earth curvature. We are considering the line on the ground is straight. There is no curvature at all. So this is the example or the geodetic survey, and this is the geodetic distance. So here you can see this is the curvature of the earth, and this thing actually geodetic distance. As here you can see in the plane survey we are not considering the curvature of the earth, but this is the actual distance on the earth which we are considering in the geodetic survey. So where this plane survey is applicable, it is the if the area of the surveying is below 250 kilometers square, and geodetic survey we need to consider the curvature of earth if the area of surveying is above 250 kilometer square. As here you can see, here when we consider the topography, the slope we need to consider, this is the horizontal distance in that case, and the topographical or the extra distance, this might be here. Now the fundamental principles of surveying. So there are two basic principles of surveying, which are always work from whole to part, and to locate a new station by at least two measurement, that is linear or angular, from fixed reference points. So we'll see the fundamental principles of surveying in detail. So first, always work from whole to part. According to the first principle, the whole survey area is first enclosed by main station, that is control stations, and the main survey lines. The area is divided into a number of divisions by a forming well conditioned triangle. It is similar as we used to eat our meal. First, we in the plate we take all the required or all the required dishes or all the dishes we want, and then one by one we are going to finish all the dishes. So here we can see the example of this thing. We need to survey this much area of this particular region. So first we need to cover this area or mark this area by using the control points and the survey lines, and then we have to divide, or we are dividing this area into small regions, and then we are going to make a survey. The you might have done the work or the exercise of calculating the area of uneven shape by using the graph paper, in which first we are calculating the biggest or the whole parts, and then the area has been divided into the small particles, and then we used to uh, calculate by those small part area by those small particles. Then the second, to locate a new station by at least two measurement, that is linear or angular, from fixed reference point. So according to the second principle of surveying, the points are located by linear or angular measurement or by both in surveying. If two control points are established first, then new station can be located by linear measurement or the angular measurement. Let the consider we'll consider the example over here. We have the two established point, that is A and B, and we need to mark the point C. So what will be the first method? So here we have the distance A to C, that is AC, that is D2, and we have the distance D1, that is BC. So we can mark this point by measuring or putting AC and BD on the particular point. Second method. we have to, or we know this perpendicular distance or this distance, that is BD. So we can mark the D point here, and then if we know the CD, that is again this distance, so we can mark this C point. So by mark or put the C point, we always need to consider these at least two references. Then this is the third method, that is we know this angle, that is angle A, B and C, and we know this BC distance, so we can mark the C point over here. Again we need to take two, that is one angular and one this linear measurement. Then if we know this angle, that is CAB, and another angle is ABC, that is theta 1 and theta 2, so we can mark this C. And by using last method, that if we know this angle theta 1, that is ABC, and we know this distance, that is AC, so we can mark C. So all in all this method, you have observed we at least need two references or two measurements, whether angular or linear, from the fixed reference point. So this is about two principle of surveying. Today we'll stop here. In coming lecture, we are going to see the classification of surveying and small different points, that is offsetting, then plane table surveying, etc. So thank you for today.